You're listening to Skills World Live with Tom Buick. News, views and interviews in association with FE News.
Hello, I'm Tom Buick. Welcome to the new series of Skills World Live. And boy, doesn't it feel good to be back in the DJ presenter hot seat as we once again fire up the only online community radio show connecting the world of FE. If you're listening live, we thank you for your continued loyalty. If you're listening in playback and you're clearly not yet on that 5 p.m. commuter train from London Bridge to the suburbs. The office, I hear you say, what's that? In these strange COVID-19 times, some of us have had to relocate from Metroland to Zoomland. And by the look of some of the virtual conferencing backgrounds I'm seeing in my day job calls, there's a whole cornucopia out there of the weird and wonderful home working solutions. I've seen the professorial types with their wall-to-wall bookcases, the green-fingered amongst you, ensconced in garden conservatories. And let's not forget the spare room gym bunnies who just love showing off their £1,000 rowing machines. So, after that crazy summer we just all lived through, we're finally back. I think you know what I'm talking about, and indeed, it's the subject of tonight's show, the Summer Exams Fiasco. What happened? I'll be putting that question to none other than the man of the moment, Robert Halfon MP, Chair of the House of Commons Education Select Committee. And raking over the coals with me this week will be some brilliant phone chat guests who, let's face it, know a thing or two about examinations, including head teachers, both former and serving. We'll be joined by a celebrated education author and a senior college leader who has some rather thoughtful views on the impact on disadvantaged groups of Ofqual's mutant algorithm, a term coined by the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson. Stand by, folks, for 60 glorious minutes of some of the leading voices in your world, skills world. And if that doesn't rock your boat, then there's always the music. Oh yes, the music. On the back of the mega ratings of the last series, the show's editor, Gavin O'Mara, has only gone and splashed out for an online PRS music licence. It will finally unleash this frustrated drive-time radio DJ to dig into his 40-year-old record collection of dance floor fillers and pop music chart toppers, all in the service of getting your hashtag FE workout off to a flying start.
You're listening to the Skills World Live radio show with Tom Buick.
Skills World News will be coming up shortly. Let's kick off the new season, shall we, with this musical banger. It's from Alpha 9. Definitely one of those tunes to get the old pulse rate going.
Want to know the future of apprenticeships in England? Then you can't afford to miss this showcase online conference, The Future of Apprenticeships, Delivering the Opportunity Guarantee. Coming up on the 5th of November, join ministers, employers and sector leaders in an interactive debate. Meet with other apprenticeship training providers, endpoint assessment organisations, tutors and apprentices as we recover from the pandemic together. Importantly, find out how the changes to apprenticeships will affect you. Book your ticket today. www.futureofapprenticeships.com. That's futureofapprenticeships.com.
Time now to find out what's been making the news headlines in your skills world this week. Labour's higher education spokeswoman Emma Hardy MP has called on the Department for Education to develop a credible plan to allow universities to fully reopen safely this autumn. Writing to the Universities Minister Michelle Donnellan, the Labour Party opposition is calling for increased access to testing on campuses to ensure the transmission of the coronavirus doesn't get any worse. In other news, a new law was put in front of Parliament this week to help those apprentices being made redundant as a result of the pandemic. The change in the regulations gives the Education Skills Funding Agency the power to continue to fund apprentices, provided they've already completed 75% of their training delivery at the point of being laid off. And finally, WorldSkills UK has announced the young British competitors it will be taking to the Euroskills finals next January in Austria. Some of the country's elite professionals and apprentices will take part in the skills competitions, from architecture to hairdressing to mechatronics and visual merchandising, all pitted against the best skilled young people from 27 other European countries. That's all your Skills World News.
Well, there is unfortunately a lot of things that went wrong, and there are many burnt fingers in this algorithm pie that was baked. Clearly, at the beginning there were disagreements between Ofwell and the government whether or not there should be exams